The downtown Scottsdale party scene had a pretty rough stretch a couple of years ago with a couple of stabbings, neighbors complaining, and a lot of bad press.
Well, the city passed some new ordinances to try to clean up the bar district. The laws, they appear to be helping.
Still, though, on any given weekend night, you can find people who get out of control. And when they do, there's one group of men and women who have to rush in and help out. Troy
Hayden spent a night up there in Scottsdale with them. He joins us live now. Troy?
Well, if you haven't been to the Scottsdale bar scene in a while, I think like all of us, safe to say in this room, it is a whole new deal. String of clubs, all concentrated in a very small area. It's kind of like one huge bar that stretches for 2 blocks. And when people misbehave there, it's up to nearby fire station number 2 to answer the call. Last Friday night, we spent 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. with the fire crews there. And here's what we saw. It is by far the biggest scene in the valley. Scantily clad club goers, limos, bottle service, VIP tables. The streets are packed. All the pretty people getting together to see and be seen. Old Town Scottsdale on a Friday night is like a mini Vegas or a dolled up New Orleans. The booze is flowing. Thousands of people are down here. Most of them perfectly fine. But when some of them aren't, it's Scottsdale Fire Department Station 2 that gets the call. Or should we say calls, because they're here several times every weekend night. We spent last Friday night with them, and we didn't have to wait long to see action. All right, first call of the night. It's an assault at a bar. Let's head out. Let's go. The traffic here is thick. It's a wonder firefighters are even able to get their trucks in here. But they do. And we find the man we're looking for. He doesn't have a shirt on, only semi-conscious. Firefighters look for a gash on his head because he fell on the pavement. So this guy apparently was inside the club, got into a fight, took about a half-dozen police officers to finally subdue him. Apparently he hit the back of his head, so they're stabilizing him now.
I got here, I just saw the gentleman laying on the floor. The security guards, there was 4 guys on top of him.
The man passes out again as firefighters work on him. He's put on a stretcher and taken to the hospital. Firefighters slide down the poles again just 20 minutes later. Call number 2. A young man, part of a bachelor party, so drunk he can't walk.
Are you drinking beer? Are you drinking whiskey? Yeah, I was drinking beer. Drinking beer? Yeah. Okay.
Looks like quite a few beers. Again, on the stretcher, into the ambulance. Approximately how many calls do you think you get like this in this area on a weekend night like this?
We will probably get anywhere, so far we're already at over 3, so probably 6 to 10.
And it's not just firefighters who are busy here. We see a swarm of police make several arrests. This young woman going to pose for a booking photo wearing her cocktail dress. These young men ending their night in a way that you know they hadn't planned, apparently fighting. So what's going on here? So the way you see this is not a party out of control.
No, I don't see it that way at all.
Jeff Walther is Scottsdale's assistant police chief.
When you roll in 8, 10, 12,000 people in a very small area and have as few problems as we do, we have the fights, we have some urinating in public, some littering or graffiti, we address those things immediately.
But some neighbors don't agree. You think that it's a problem area down there?
It's totally a problem area. There's a lot of violence still.
Bill Crawford heads up a neighborhood association trying to tone down the bar district.
I want to see the noise ordinance tightened up. I want to see the loopholes taken out of the bar safety ordinance. I want to see lighting. I want to see more boots on the ground.
What we saw last Friday night, a crowded bar district packed with people and police and security. And just a few of those partygoers who couldn't handle the scene. Their party stopped in a very abrupt and unpleasant way. So,
wow.
Were there a lot of drunk people there? Yes, there were a lot of drunk people.
Downtown Scottsdale on a Friday.
There were also a lot of police officers. You know, we were only down there for that one night, but it seemed like there was a police officer every 10, 15 yards. And their goal is, if anything happens, if there's a fight or anything like that, to be on it within 60 seconds. And it looks like they had the manpower to do that.
Well, and with that presence and then the drunk driving laws, there's a lot of taxis down there. I saw in the piece.
A ton of cabs.
I'm assuming there's not a lot of people getting in their own cars driving, hopefully.
Yeah, you would hope not. But I will say, on the flip side of what we were just talking about, I don't think I'd want to live right next to those bars either. So I understand where the neighbors are coming from.
Boy, it's really changed since we were going out
couldn't
back
believe
in the day.
What a scene. I mean, if you're looking for a bar scene, 2 straight blocks of those kind of places, there you go.
Old Town Scottsdale.
Scottsdale's a place for you.
You could do that every week, and I would find it enjoyable, Troy.
Wow.
Thank you.
Okay.
Next week.